I spent 1 hour in Fish It with zero prep, and my goal was simple: get out of the early game before time runs out. If this fails, I am basically broke. And the timer starts now. The tutorial was simple: catch a few fish. Oh, we got a rare fish, nice. Sell them and get just enough money to start moving. Using the gold that I got from selling, I bought myself a lock rod and a top water bobber. Before I tested out my new gears, I purchased a small boat and sailed towards Kohana Island. Once I arrived there, I immediately headed towards the volcano to catch 10 fish to not only complete the quest, but also see if the fish here are worth more than the fish in the starting location. However, the trek towards the volcano certainly didn't come without its obstacles. There we go. I almost died, oh my god. Okay, boom. Oh god, okay. I am horrible at obbies, oh my god. Yeah, we're just gonna completely ignore my horrendous parkour skills. I spent a good few minutes catching fish in the lava lake. During this process, I also got my first ever badge, which was catching my very first shiny fish. I sold all of my catches and wanted to buy the grass rod, but after seeing that I was only 100 coins off from the Damascus rod, I caught a single uncommon fish and sold it for exactly 115 coins, which was enough to get us the Damascus rod. After buying the new fishing rod, I went back inside the volcano and fished in the lava pool again. After leaving the volcano, I spent another few minutes catching fishes located in Kohana Island and got another badge, which was the 50 catches badge. I then made a shocking revelation. The fish in Kohana Island were worth less than the ones in Kohana Volcano. Nevertheless, I wasn't satisfied with the prices in Kohana Island, but before sailing to a new island, I wanted to get a better bait first. Since I had nothing better to do, I decided to look at the leaderboard and notice some insane stats. What the heck? Do these people have a life or something, or do they just AFK grind? Because these are so many catches. Dang, I cannot imagine spending this amount of time in just a single game. After I arrived at the starting island, I looked at how much the next bait will cost. The luck bait was the reasonable next goal, but I was only a few hundred coins away from the midnight bait. After a few more catches, I managed to get the coins needed for the midnight bait and went to another island. After reaching the ancient jungle, I immediately noticed how the fish in this island are much tougher to catch. I was optimistic though, seeing that in most games, tougher fishes usually mean that they are more expensive, which was awesome for my coin reservoir. By the way, if you're curious, throughout this video I wasn't using an auto clicker. I spammed my mouse, which you can actually hear. This small grind netted me by far the most varied fish collection. Get it? Netted? Cause most fishermen catch fishes using a net. Okay, I'll see myself out. I proceeded to sell my catches and noticed how the fishes here are much more expensive than the ones in Kohana. 2,000! Oh my god, that's actually very good. Like, the fish here are much more expensive than the ones in Kohana, so I think I'm actually gonna grind here for another few minutes. Even though they were more expensive, I was already halfway through the hour and I was still basically poor. I wanted to spend another few minutes grinding in ancient jungle, but I wouldn't have the chance to experience the other islands and possibly get even rarer fish if I did it. I did make one small purchase before leaving ancient jungle, which was a kayak, and that was by far one of the biggest mistakes that I made in this run, seeing as it didn't increase my speed too much. You'll see later what my biggest mistake was. After that incident, I went towards the esoteric depths, and after I arrived there, I noticed that there was a cave-like entrance and entered it, meeting a guy that made it possible for me to go down with the elevator at a cost of 400 coins. That pricing was expensive for me at this point of the game, so I decided to go down without the elevator. Oh, and learned the hard way why elevators exist. I then headed towards the coral reefs and caught a few new fishes, one of which being the wahoo. Now, I figured that this was a fictional fish made purely for this game due to the name, but once I searched it up, wahoo is an actual fish that exists in real life. The more you know, I guess. I sold those catches and noticed that they were worth more than once in ancient jungle. I did another grinding session, catching my first rare fish during the process after more than 20 minutes of not catching one. Oh, a rare! Oh my god, finally! That took so long to get a rare. And oh, it's a starfish! Oh, nice! I then sold all of my catches and got 2.67 thousand coins, which was by far the most I've ever gotten from one grinding session, and sailed towards the main island to buy the ice rod. I sailed towards the last location for today's video, which is the tropical grove. After reaching the island, my first instinct was to fish and see how much the fishes here are worth with my newly bought ice rod. I also caught an enchant stone that I have no clue what it's used for. Regardless, I felt like the luckiest person on earth after catching that. I sold all of my catches and saw that the fishes here are worth much less than the previous locations. And here is when I made the biggest mistake out of the entire run. I chose to fish in the tropical groves for the last 12 minutes of the run, which definitely didn't help my goal to get rich. Regardless, here's a small compilation. Let me know if you can tell what this song is judging by the beat. I'll tell you the answer after the compilation's over. And that's the grinding session completed. By the way, if you don't know what that song was, it's Bad Apple. To end the video off, I sold all 78 of my catches. 1 hour ago, I had nothing. Now, I am level 30 with over 10,000 coins and I am still in the early game. I am not even close towards the late game whatsoever. With that, I have officially spent 1 hour in Fish It. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.